Wednesday, April 7, 2021. You're welcome to today's edition of Prime News on my Media Prime Live from Douala, the economic capital of the country. My name is Peldrine Blanche King. Head of State President Paul Biya has instructed the Minister of Justice and Keeper of Seal NOLINGA also to open investigations into embezzlement of funds allocated in the fight against COVID-19 in the country. The information is contained in the press release dated April 6, 2021, signed by Minister of State Secretary General at the Presidency, Ferdinand Ngongo. The correspondence addressed to NOLINGA also called for investigations and arrest of those involved in the embezzlement of the said funds. Though the amount embezzled is yet to be published, it should be recalled that in December 2020, President Paul Biya instructed an audit of funds allocated in the fight against COVID-19 in the country. Away from that, the presidents of the National Order of Doctors and Pharmacists in Cameroon have again confirmed support for the introduction of a vaccine against COVID-19 as a national response strategy against the deadly pandemic. They were speaking yesterday during a meeting in Yaoundé chaired by Prime Minister, Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Diongoude. Audrey Zadza in the following report.
They presented their arguments to Prime Minister, Head of Government, Joseph Diongoude, who was receiving them on April 6, 2021 at the Star Building in Yaoundé. Dr. Guy Sanjong, President of the National Order of Medical Doctors, and Dr. Frank Nana, President of the National Council of Pharmacists, all campaigning for mass vaccination against the coronavirus disease. For Dr. Guy Sanjong, Cameroon must adopt a mass vaccination campaign.
Tous les pays européens, africains vont à la vaccination.
All European and African countries are going for vaccination. It's true, there are incidents. Every treatment has its disadvantages. The case with vaccination, we can choose the vaccine we want. Anyone who doesn't want the vaccine won't take it. But believe me, as a professional of the health sector, vaccination against measles, meningitis and tetanus is sure and secure.
Dr. Frank Nana is of the same opinion that a COVID-19 vaccine should be adopted.
Nous perdons de jour en jour.
We are losing family members day by day, so we must all, as much as we can, participate in the campaign.
The meeting concerning the coronavirus vaccine in Cameroon equally saw the participation of some close collaborators of Prime Minister, Head of Government Joseph Diongoude, precisely Séraphin Magloa-Fouda, Secretary General of the Office of the Prime Minister, and Balungeli Confiance Ebouné, Director of Cabinet of the Prime Minister. However, the government has announced that Cameroon will be receiving 200,000 doses of vaccine on April 11, 2021 from Chinese Sinopharm vaccine, amongst other vaccine propositions. And to that effect, the expanded program on immunization, already at work against other diseases, will be responsible for immunizing the population.
In the same light, Kumba 3 Council has opened a campaign against the spread of the deadly coronavirus in the municipality. According to Mayor Mukwele Isaac, the virus is deadly and should be kept away from the municipality and, if possible, Kumba at large. Details with Tamfu Sidwan and Dimbye.
Prominent people for which society for this Kumba, they don't die of COVID-19.
This declaration was made by the mayor of the Kumba 3 Council, Dr. Mukwele Isaac Nguba, during a sensitization campaign against the spread of COVID-19 in his municipality.
Maybe protect ourselves by wearing masks.
On Tuesday and Wednesday, 6th and 7th of April 2021, the population of Barombikang, Boya Road Motor Park, Terikonas Market, Mabanda, and other areas in Kumba 3 municipality were encouraged to adhere to COVID-19 preventive measures.
The way COVID-19 has invaded our community and is taking lives is a cause for concern. So, prompted by that, we felt that it's our duty to educate our population.
The mayor declared that COVID-19 is real and dangerous.
COVID-19 still be very, very real and more dangerous than it even be before.
He also informed the population that even though it may be difficult to respect all the anti-COVID-19 measures, the population should respect the wearing of nose masks in order to protect themselves from the spread of the virus.
But the best bet now for each and everyone which is in the reach of all Cameroonians is for us to wear masks, as the government has has established that is compulsory.
The mayor assured the population that regular checks and sensitization outings will be adopted in order to completely stop any spread of the virus in his municipality.
This is not the first time, and every time we go, we even take anti-COVID-19, we take masks, we take soap, we take buckets. We have distributed many of those things. But now we are to enforce the wearing of masks because that's the best bet in protecting people.
The divisional officer for Kumba 3 subdivision, Mr. Ngale Alfred, also encouraged the population to respect all the measures set aside by government and the World Health Organization to stop the spread of the pandemic in Kumba 3 subdivision. Even though the Kumba 3 Council distributed anti-COVID-19 materials to the entire population of the municipality, many people are yet to respect the measures, but the Mukwele-led council means business as regular checks have been announced in order to fight the virus.
A document for the construction of 10,000 low-cost housing has been signed between the mayors of Douala 5, Dibombari, Tico, Boya, and a Swiss-based financial holding group. The document was signed yesterday here in Douala, as Gladys Bomotongina tells us in the French language.
En vue de veiller au développement des populations dans leur communauté, une importante réunion s'est tenue ce mardi 6 avril 2021 à la mairie de Douala 5e, où on assistait à la signature de contrats de partenariat entre le directeur général de la compagnie suisse, Patient Holding Group, responsable du projet d'une part, et les maires de la commune de Douala 5e, Tico, Boya et Dibombari, dans le cadre de la construction de 10 000 logements repartis dans ces différentes régions du pays. Pour M. Dieudonné Mvomo, c'est une belle manière de présenter le vivre ensemble.
Les différents accords que nous venons de signer tout à l'heure visent d'une part à promouvoir le vivre ensemble camerounais, mais d'autre part à promouvoir l'intercommunalité dans le cadre de la coopération internationale décentralisée. Donc, les accords qui ont été signés visent la construction de 10 500 logements et la mairie jouera un rôle très important dans ce qui concerne la gestion des infrastructures d'eau, d'assainissement et d'énergie renouvelable. Et c'est là où nous devons jouer notre plein rôle en matière d'accès facile des populations à l'eau, à l'énergie et à l'assainissement.
De même, le maire de Boya n'a pas manqué de présenter sa joie au regard des 1500 logements alloués à sa communauté. C'est un jour glorieux. Vous savez, Boya, c'est une ville grandissante et nous sommes vraiment en besoin de ces logements. 1500, c'est un grand nombre et cela va changer la face de notre ville et cité. Nous avons visité les sites vendredi dernier. Nous sommes allés à Mikombe et Maponja et les financiers ont opté pour Mikombe. Il en est de même pour M. Richard Fungwang, maire de Douala 5e, qui nous relaie depuis le début de sa prise de fonction à s'assurer du bien-être de sa communauté.
La population de Douala 5e gagne beaucoup de choses. Ce qui m'intéresse aujourd'hui, c'est le fait d'avoir invité le président Reza au Cameroun à l'effet de nous accompagner pour la construction de 10 500 logements. Et vous-même, vous avez vu, il est présent. Aujourd'hui, ce n'est pas seulement dans le secteur qui gagnerait quelque chose. Je viens de signer le partenariat entre le maire de Tico, le maire de Boya, le maire de Dibombari et moi. Sur ce projet, gagnant-gagnant, nous nous mutualisons pour chercher des investisseurs à l'international. C'est un méga projet. Il ne peut pas seulement investir à Douala 5e, il va investir dans les autres arrondissements.
Financement de 1000 milliards déjà prêt, il ne reste qu'à attendre le début très proche de la réalisation des travaux. La séance s'est terminée par un échange de cadeaux souvenirs, question d'immortaliser le moment.
It's been confirmed 3 persons were shot dead on Sunday night by unidentified gunmen in Bengui, Momo Division, northwest region of the country. Amongst those who were shot was a young lady identified as a fish seller who survived a bomb explosion a month before. Eileen Sama reports.
The people of Ngun, a locality in Bengui, Momo division of the Northwest region, are still in shock and consternation after waking up Monday morning to a shocking incident. 3 corpses lying around, that of Ngum, a fish seller, a police officer, the guard of a senior official in Bengui, pork seller. According to sources, they were killed by separatist fighters who stormed the bond market Sunday night and murdered the trio, beginning with Ngum, who was shot at her business site, then a pork vendor, before opening fire at a police officer in the popular Bukaro bar, causing commotion as many around took to their heels for their lives. The despicable incident occurred about a month after an explosive device targeting Ngum exploded, injuring the young lady who gave a testimony in church before her demise.
They gave me a call that I should pack and leave baby in 3 days with my blind mother. When I heard that call, we just finished mobbing the church. It was a quiet practice. I went out, I prayed, and then I came back. I was confused on the altar. And when I met my dad, I told him that they had called and they said so. Then the other one in front said, "You talk no." The one behind said, "No, me, you talk." The one in front said, "You talk." You really talk. It was like the one who started fighting. So I was thinking that is because they were thinking of whether they should sit and eat or to take the fish to Bamenda. I didn't know they came for me. So I said, okay, if the other said, now you be talk, see when you talk now you are the one. He said, you don't get things for talk, I didn't talk me anything. So I just, okay, since people are still arguing, let me warm the fish and then you take your decision. Whatever you want, I will do it for you. So I just moved 2 steps to go and warm the fish. He called me and said, "Go come." I went. Said, "Take this bag. Give the bag, big keeper." That's how I took the bag. I kept the bag, not up to a meter, a bag that just prepared with bomb.
According to sources, after some days, the same guys returned and warned Ngum to stop selling roast fish to uniformed men. Her response was she was only struggling to survive. It should be noted that the pork vendor, who was also shot, had been given a warning earlier. It should be noted that the pork vendor, who was also shot, had been given a warning earlier before the incident. The ongoing conflict in the 2 Anglophone regions has seen innocent civilians who are barely struggling to survive, as well as family members to separatist fighters, as well as military people, brutally murdered, tortured, and refused to be given a chance to live nor respect for their human rights, as both parties have now become extremists. Bengui's Sunday attack is just one of countless incidents recorded for over 4 years now in the 2 restive regions as government forces and separatist fighters battle for control of the regions, while solution to the crisis remain futile.
You're watching the 6:30 Prime News on My Major Prime. Over 1,000 families stand the risk of a possible eviction failure to present land documents at the National Anti-Corruption Commission in Yaoundé. According to a communique signed by the chairman of CONAC, the occupants are due for explanation latest April 9, 2021. Details with Dolingonde.
The issue of land grabbing is no novelty in the Fakor division of the southwest region of Cameroon, just as in other parts of the country and the world at large. As a matter of fact, stories of this nature have been recurrent even during the days of late Ekema Patrick Isunge, one-time mayor of the Boyo Municipal Council. With over 1,000 families in the southwest region standing the risk of a possible eviction upon proof of legitimacy rights over their lands, the stakes are high for the outcome. The occupants of these 14 sites, namely Boyo Station Federal Quarters, GRA Clark's Quarters, Lower Farms, Upper Farms, Boyo Furl Plantations, Presidential Residential Land, Bosta Institute, Guest House, Warders Barracks, the Boyo Regional Hospital Land, and the Government Practicing School, Moliko, have been invited to the nation's capital, Yaoundé, by the National Anti-Corruption Commission, CONAC, to explain how they acquired the portions of lands they've been occupying for years. The hearings, due this April the 9th, 2021, is scheduled to take place at the Conference Hall of the National Anti-Corruption Commission, Yaoundé. The grabbed land in question sums up an approximate 1,000 houses already constructed on them. Lately in March this year, the chairman of the commission, Reverend Dr. Dieudonné, published a press release inviting all the occupants of these sites in Boya to present themselves at the conference hall of the institution in Yaoundé, latest the 9th of April this year. Still displayed on the release, these persons are expected to come alongside the following documents: Attribution Act of the land, land certificate, building permit, and receipt of the payment of transaction through auction sales or by private treaty at the Divisional Land Revenue Collectors of Fako Division.
Some media outlets and journalists have been sanctioned by the National Communication Council on grounds of unethical practices. The sanction comes following reports from some organizations and ministries. Nora Kakebi reads through the document.
The National Communication Council has suspended some media organs as well as some journalists found guilty of failing to respect ethical values guiding the journalism profession. The sanctions, according to the Council, will be valid for a period of 1 month for most of them. It should be noted that this decision was taken after the 29th Ordinary Session of the Council, which took place on April 5, 2021 in Yaoundé. In a release made public on April 6, 2021, the media regulatory body has sanctioned the editors of the newspapers such as Le Point Hebdo, Le Missive, Le Miroir, Le Pévier, Essingang, and La Nouvelle. In addition, journalists such as Sismondi Balev Bijoka, presenter of RIS Radio, takes 3 months suspension. A group of companies and even ministries within the country launched a complaint to the National Communications Council of some media organs going against the norms of the profession, bringing down the reputation of their organizations. The Minister of Mines, Industry and Technical Development, Dodo Gabriel, launched a complaint against Le Point Hebdo following its publication of August 25, 2020, which undermined the minister's reputation. The council therefore suspended the media organ and the journalist for a period of 1 month. On the other hand, the Director General of Kamota, Gervais Bolenga, equally filed a complaint to the National Council against Le Miroir for defamation. This is not the first time journalists and media outlets are being sanctioned by the National Communications Council for going against the ethics of the profession.
The Bishop of Boya Diocese, His Lordship Michael Bibi, has commissioned Father Abba Bang Fidelis as pioneer parish priest of the Mater Christi parish. The Mater Christi parish is the first francophone parish in Limbe, born out of the need to create space for the French-speaking community in Limbe. Kumono Rimbom tells us more.
Reverend Abba Fidelis Ambang is the pioneer parish priest of the Francophone Catholic parish in Limbe, known as the Mater Christi parish. He was officially installed by His Lordship, Bishop Bibi Michael, Bishop of Boya Diocese, during a pastoral visit that took place on Easter Sunday. The installation of Reverend Abba Fidelis Abang as the pioneer parish priest of the Mater Christi parish coincided with the administering of the sacrament of First Holy Communion to over 80 catechumens who successfully went through a 4-month catechetical classes to confirm them fit for the sacrament of First Holy Communion.
When they made a request to me when I came to Boya as a priest administrator, I reminded them of the conditions they have to fulfill. And I think they took it seriously and they worked very hard to have this building that they are using now as their church. And also to have the presbytery attached to the church building where the fathers, 2 of their priests are residents. I pray and wish that the parish priests should collaborate with them, they should collaborate with the parish priest, and that as the parish they should collaborate with the diocese so that for all of us, like one family working in communion and continue to attend to the spiritual and the mental needs of the people of our diocese.
In his homily, the bishop called on Christians to spread the good news of Jesus' resurrection and to be witnesses of the risen Christ.
This is my prayer and wish that as we have received the Eucharist today, they may be able to reflect what the Eucharist means in their daily living. The Eucharist is a sacrifice of thanksgiving. They should always thank God for all the blessings, the guidance that God has given to them. The Eucharist is the sacrament of unity. We should be agents of unity wherever they find themselves. And of course, the Eucharist invites us to love, since it is a sacrament of love.
During the Holy Mass, the Christians sang songs of praises and worship with the great Alleluia and the Gloria choruses, which has been absent from the church's liturgy for the past 40 days of Lent.
Since it's the election today, the parish has one day today, but the Francophone community has been there since 40 years. We are struggling to have a parish, and today we are very happy. We have achieved our goal.
The erection of the Mater Christi Parish, better still, the Francophone Parish, is as a result of the increase in population of the Christian folk who needed a separate house of God to worship Him in spirit and in truth.
Today is World Health Day, an annual celebration to mark the beginning of a new campaign to provide and promote adequate health care worldwide. This day is celebrated under the auspices of the World Health Organization, and this year's edition is celebrated under the theme Building a Fairer and Healthier World. Bokengo Kemia-Worthy completes the story.
Health is not the absence of a disease, illness, disorder, or syndrome. It is the physical, emotional, psychological, financial well-being of a person. World Health Day is celebrated yearly on April 7, coinciding with the birth of the World Health Organization.
WHO was founded 73 years ago with the mission of seeking the highest possible standard of health for all people, regardless of their race, religion, political belief, economic, and social condition. World Health Day is WHO birthday, which we usually mark by celebrating progress, as Anjana said, towards a better health.
On World Health Day, health personnel and organizations around the world come together in a campaign seeking to create awareness regarding a healthy lifestyle and choices. Supported most often with a team detailing the vision for the health campaign, this year's commemoration is observed under the theme Fairer, Healthier World for Everyone.
The theme for this year's World Health Day, Building a Fairer, Healthier World, is very timely. It draws attention to the need for us to seize this moment so that we emerge from the pandemic stronger. And it highlights the fact that to do this, we must pay greater attention to addressing inequity. We have been responding to COVID-19 for 15 months now. We have all been affected by COVID-19, both by the virus and by the measures countries have been needed to take to control and suppress it. But some have been affected more than others. And unfortunately, the pandemic has amplified many existing inequities and even created new ones.
With COVID-19 pandemic cutting health gains and pushing more people into poverty, food shortages, as well as economic instability, this day calls for action to eliminate health inequalities as part of a year-long global campaign aiming to bring people together to build a fairer, healthier world.
Etape Content has sports news in the French language.
Et l'EWANE 2020-2021, le programme de la 6e journée est déjà connu. Les matchs sont prévus pour samedi prochain, 10 avril, dans différentes infrastructures sportives du pays. À l'affiche, Dragon affrontera Yafoot à 14h00 au stade Omnisport d'Amadou à Idjo. En dehors de cette rencontre, plusieurs autres sont programmés à la même heure. Il s'agit de Bamboutos de Bouddha qui va jouer contre Union de Douala au stade de Bamenzi à Bafoussam. Colombe contre Yossa sur le tapis vert du centre technique de la CAF à Bankoumou. Ensuite, à 15h, un autre match aura lieu dans le stade Renard face à Edin Sport au stade municipal de Mélon. Enfin, à 16h, 4 rencontres sont calées. AS Fortuna va se mesurer à Djiko FC dans la cuvette de Fandina à Yaoundé. TKC et Astre vont se rivaliser sur la pelouse du centre technique de la CAF de Mbankomo. Panther s'opposera à New Star sur les gazons de Bamendi de l'Ouest à Bafoussam. Et l'UMS de Loum fera face à APGS Donfou au stade annexe de la réunification de Douala. Parlons des barrages des Jeux Olympiques Tokyo 2021. Arrivés hier mardi en Turquie, les Lions d'Alain Djemfak ont effectué leur première séance d'entraînement hier à 19h au stade annexe d'Antalya. Des préparations consacrées aux rencontres prévues pour les dates du 10 au 13 avril en vue des qualifications pour cette compétition.
That sports report ends today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Thanks for being with us. See you tomorrow at 6:30. God willing, for another edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Faith Tata Bernier coordinated the news produced by EWANE airline NOLINGA. My name is Blanche Peldrine. At 7 p.m. Cameroon time, Kum Leonard will be here with Prime Hour. Stay tuned. Happy viewing and good night.